Hi everyone, Mike Riley here with Gaining Altitude Financial with another video to help you out with your personal finances. So this video was inspired by a presentation I recently did at a local high school. I volunteer with Junior Achievement, and we were talking about the benefit of getting started early. Now this is a class that's it was grade 11 and 12 mix, and so they were thinking about, should I get going? What's the benefit of starting with my investments? And of course, the answer is you have the benefit of time. And time gives you a number of things, including multiples on the effect of compounding interest. It also means you don't need to take on as much risk in your investment, especially if that's something that you're new to. And the other is that it starts to build those habits that starting to make an investment now makes it easier to do more later on. So what I wanted to do here is show you three different examples of time of investments and the impact that it has. So across the top here, we've got time, the amount per month, the rate of return, so that what your investment experience is, and what the end result is at the end of times. Now here I've got three different time frames, investing for 30 years, for 20 years, and 10 years. So on the first line there, say this is somebody who's 20 years old, just got their first job, and they want to get going on making just building up a financial plan. Maybe not have any real goal or intent for the money, but want to start setting something aside. So if this individual puts aside $200 every month, month in, month out, over 30 years, and there are going to be times when it's tough, I know that. My own experience, when you got married, bought a house, had a baby, there's some months when you think, oh boy, I could really use $200 towards something else. But let's consider that this person has a really good financial advisor who's keeping them on track at a very modest rate of return of 5% per year, which is very achievable. At the end of 30 years, this will be just over $163,000. Okay? It's not a million, but $163,000 from $200 a month over 30 years. So by the time the person's 50, they have that set aside. Compare that to somebody else who waits 10 more years. So at age 20, they felt that they wanted to do some living, maybe make some bad decisions, and they don't get started until age 30. Well, now you've only got 20 years in this example. So we have to do a little bit more. We've got to put $300 a month in, and we need to get 6% rate of return. And that will give us $159,000 at the end of the 3 years. So still pretty good, but you had to put more in, which makes it a little tougher each month, and you had to get a greater rate of return to still get less on at the end of that period of time. So the next line becomes even more dramatic a comparison. So this person doesn't get going until age 40, and they want to know if they want to have some money by age 50. So there's only 10 years here. Now, in order for us to even have something comparable, this person has to put in $600 a month. They've got to get an 8% annual rate of return, and the growth will only be to $108,000. So what's interesting about this, of course, not only you get more if you do less sooner, all of this is the same amount of money. This is $72,000 in total that these three different individuals have invested. They've just done it in different amounts over longer periods of time, but the total's been $72,000. The person that did it starting at age 20, so for 30 years, resulted in $163,000 from their $72,000. So they more than doubled their investment. The person that did it at age that only had 20 years to invest, 159. So they still doubled. But the bigger difference here, waiting, really cost person C the opportunity for growth on that. So hopefully that brings up some thought for you to see that and help spur maybe getting going a little sooner. The numbers are going to be different for everybody. But the other thing to note from this one is the person that started at age 20 with 200 is not likely going to stay at 200 because they built this saving muscle up. And when you build a muscle up, you tend to keep stressing it more and lifting heavier weights and the same sort of thing. That $200 a month, in a few years, maybe it's $250 a month that person is saving. And then maybe it does become 300. So that amount there is going to grow even more. There's another example I could do where people stop and then even the later folks don't even catch up. But hopefully that is inspiring to you to say, I can get started. Maybe I don't have 200 a month right now. Maybe I can do 100. Maybe I can do 50. But getting going today is going to have a much bigger impact to you down the road than waiting. So Mike Riley, Gaining Altitude Financial, helping you gain altitude and gain confidence.